Welcome back, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we are reacting via a kind suggestion to How Puppets Both Ruined and Saved My Life from Jeff Dunham. Let's see what he has to say.
I've been doing this show all over the country, just having a blast here, there, and everywhere. The fans are great, but we've also been taking my show around the world. We've been doing shows in South Africa, Australia, 3 tours of Europe and the UK. Now they're talking about taking me to China. What? How am I gonna do my show in China? All I know is if I do my show in China, there's a big chunk of my act I'm gonna have to leave out.
What chunk is that?
You'll recognize it when I do it here this evening.
Okay.
But it is interesting going to some of these foreign countries and doing press interviews because some of the reporters have done their homework and care, others just don't. For example, I was in London talking to a guy and he was like, all right, so ventriloquism. Have you eliminated every other possibility of employment? And I have to go, no, this is what I've done my entire life. I've never wanted to do anything else.
Wow.
I started very young. I was 8 years old. I was in the 3rd grade, Christmas, 1970. Got my first dummy. There's mom and dad and me under the tree right there.
Serious question, no judgment. I'm just wondering what would convince parents to get their child a dummy? What interest does the child have to show? Or maybe someone else in the family was interested in it. I'm just wondering, I could never imagine just buying my child a ventriloquist dummy. I hope I said that right. I don't know. Also, the jewel tones in this photo, the mom in the green, the son in the red, the dad in this beautiful jewel tone blue. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I wonder if they knew, if they even thought that he could turn into what he turned into because of what they bought him. How amazing is that? Okay, sorry. Just my wheels turning.
First dummy, there's mom and dad and me under the tree right there.
1970.
You can see how proud my father is.
His dad is like, this is what you spent my money on?
Why does he have that expression on his face? And then it finally hit me, duh, look where the dummy's hand is. So, yeah, that's creepy. So I started doing shows very early, all the way through elementary school, junior high school, college. And this is what I wanted to do.
So
this
impressive.
was the future I saw. I saw it. There were a few people that didn't see it. For example, girlfriends.
I'm sure.
They'd realize I was sincere about wanting to talk to dummies the rest of my life, and they would dump me immediately. I couldn't see what they saw until a few months ago. I was sitting down with my 3 daughters, and we were looking at the yearbooks for my junior high and high school years. My daughters were horrified. Why? Let me explain. I started getting paid for doing my shows in the 7th grade, and I knew that if I was going to be a professional ventriloquist, I needed a professional photo. Now, my parents were supportive, but they weren't going to shell out the cash for that. So I thought, how am I going to get a professional picture of me and the dummy taken? And then it finally hit me.
His school
picture
yearbook.
day.
Genius, but also no. Social unaliving is what that is. Social unaliving.
But I thought this was genius. All I had to do was show up at school with the dummy in the suitcase, stand in line. When it was my turn, I'd sit down, put the dummy on my knee, smile, click, professional photo. And that's what I did every year from the 7th grade through the 12th grade.
Every year? Who allowed this?
The only trouble was they'd only take 1 photo, and that's what ended up in every yearbook. And that's why my daughters were horrified. It was boy, girl, girl, boy, boy with doll, girl. Don't believe me? There's 7th grade right there. There it is.
I was hoping he had receipts. Not the doll winking.
I'm the one on the right. Look at that. That is Justin Bieber hair, damn it.
Yeah.
So,
Kinda.
9th grade came along, and I decided to do the same thing. This was the bicentennial year in our country, 1976. I was a patriotic lad, but I didn't want to dress like Uncle Sam. No, apparently, I wanted to dress like a 4th of July picnic table cover.
Jeff! What happened to 8th grade? We skipped 8th grade, or was 8th grade not a thing? I don't know. I've learned just in life that so every school system is different. Like fourth grade is like fifth grade in some schools, and fifth grade is like sixth grade at some schools. Like, it's crazy. This is, listen, again, every school system is different. And also I understand he said this was in the 70s, but like, I know for sure if I went to any of my school picture sessions and tried to have anything, I mean, so much as a hat, they'd have been like, you need to remove that. It's not in this. The school said you shouldn't even be wearing a hat to school. He has an entire life-size doll in his photo with him, and they're dressed alike. What was her name? I'm assuming it's a girl, right? That's a girl? Oh. I love these photos. I love these photos.
The funniest thing to me about that photo is the fact that I have braces. Why is that funny? Well, the rest of my life I'm going to be talking with my mouth shut, so what's the point?
Touche. Touche.
I know most of you look at these photos and thinking, this is the saddest human being we've ever met. Did you have any friends? Yes, I did. Here we are sitting in my bedroom one day.
No.
This next photo, you know, my parents were supportive, but every once in a while,
he keeps
in a
saying
child's
that, so
life,
we know.
the parents must step in and say
and
enough
intervene.
is enough.
Right.
Apparently, my parents did not do this, as is evidenced by this next photo. And by the way, none of these photos have been photoshopped. Everything is legit. Everything's real.
Thank you for the precaution.
So that's how sad it is. But this next photograph, I don't remember how it happened. All I know is that we went to the professional portrait studio, and this was the family portrait that hung in our living room.
No, there are not dolls in the family portrait. No. That's a grown man. That's a grown man. He has a mustache. And the dad's hand is on his shoulder. His hand is on the dummy's shoulder as if that's his son. I'm screaming. I'm weak. This is, if you want to know what a photo of an only child looks like, where the parents are just so happy to have you that they'll let you do anything. I need to know what their friends were saying, like at the country club, honey. Like, what were they saying? Just assuming they had a country club membership.
For years.
He's an adult in this photo. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. He looks great for his age.
You know, maybe
just putting that out there.
And the weird part is my parents had family and friends over for parties a lot. And this was hanging right there in plain view, and no one ever said anything.
Yes, they did. Yes.
They must have thought,
you just didn't hear them.
Good. Let's go to the mentally ill people's house. All right, so that's high school. And time to pick up chicks.
That was high school. Wait, so that wasn't high school? He had a mustache? No judgment. I just thought that was a grown man in that photo. Someone whistle. Why can't I do that? I can whistle.
It was the late 70s. Disco is king. I had my silk shirt, my dummy, and my porn mustache. Now, this next photo I found in a box just recently, you know, and some photos just go without explanation. I don't remember what this was. I don't remember what was going on. I don't know.
Who's holding up the bear?
Let's examine this, shall we? I'm standing in my parents' front yard. On the hood of this vehicle is the largest stuffed animal known to man.
It's on the hood. Okay.
I don't know how it got it home. I don't know why it was there. I don't know what the hell it is. Also on the hood of the vehicle is R2-D2.
I missed that.
My dummy is dressed up like a bad Luke Skywalker knockoff. And I'm I'm wearing a freaking Hawaiian shirt.
You are. And your mustache in tow.
It's like Tom Selleck jumped out of the closet and went, guess what?
I don't know who that is. Tom Selleck? Tom Selleck?
And now it was time to move on to college and the intellectual.
I can't get over the fact that previous picture to the high school one, so that means he was still in middle school. Where did the mustache come from? Did he buy it and tape it on? He looked like a grown adult. I can't get over it. Okay, now we're moving into college. And I'm just trying to figure out how this man happened to marry someone and have 3 daughters at least. He didn't say sons. He said daughters, which makes me feel like he only has 3 daughters. But he could have more. How he procreated with another human, if this is what he was doing. Is the dummy in the wedding photo? If the dummy is in the wedding photo, I'm going to vomit.
Full years.
How does he looks older there than he does on stage. That's wild. That dummy is terrifying.
I don't even know why.
Terrifying.
You know, the photographer should have just fallen over laughing. It looked like Sherlock Holmes with a dummy. I don't know what that is. So I graduated from college. I was living in Central Texas, and I was still doing my shows, but I knew I was not yet ready to move out to Los Angeles to seek fame and fortune. So I kept doing shows, as many as I could, but I also had an unusual hobby. I became a licensed helicopter pilot, but I built and was flying my own full-size, real 2-seat helicopter.
Please stop.
Now, you would think that someone who was smart enough to build and fly their own helicopter could maybe pick out a decent pair of shorts.
He built that? Those are Hoochie Daddy shorts. They're fine. Hoochie Daddy shorts have made a comeback as of 2024. Like, I don't want to see you in any shorts that are not, they need to be higher than your mid-thigh. I said it. Hoochie Daddy shorts. He is an intelligent individual, intelligent and talented. He built his own helicopter. Does that mean he was also building his own dummies? Wow, he's an engineer. What did he go to college for? Do y'all know? What is his degree in? Or degrees?
Oh, thank you. All I know is thank God the corn was high enough that nobody in the freeway could see me. That's all I can say.
The corn was high enough.
My daughters have been horrified by these pictures. They decided
so you put
to
them on
help me out.
stage.
They are Kenna, Ashlyn, and Bree. They are 13, 15, and 19 years of age. They had a lot of my life. They decided to help me out with my clothes, but they decided to dress both me and Peanut, and here's what they chose.
No. So they're rappers. They're rappers, it's fine.
Now, as you can tell by these photos, the dummies have been with me for a very long time. You can also tell I had a very poor fashion sense. I will take most of the blame for that. There is, however, one other person that needs to take some of that blame, and that person is my mother. And I'll prove to you that this is her fault because she did this Christmas what she does every Christmas and has for decades. My parents are in their 80s now, and every year what my mother does is she goes to a very nice department store and she picks out a Christmas present for me and my father. She picks out the nicest shirt that she can find, and she buys 2. Here's what she chose this past year.
Oh, dear God. It's awful. It's like a circus tent. Together, they look like one circus tent.
But I am a ventriloquist, for those of you who might not have figured that out yet. And people ask...
Oh, it morphed into another show. Okay, that was 2011. This says 2015. All right.
Ask me all the time, Jeff, why this as a career? Well, I've never done anything else. I taught myself ventriloquism in the 3rd grade, got a dummy, and just kept practicing. I didn't have any brothers and sisters, so there was no one there to tell me that what I was doing was incredibly lame.
Lame all the way to the bank.
I guess my parents were like,
oh, he's
not our fault.
Adopted? Oh, that makes sense. They just wanted to support you. He was adopted. Oh, I'm like growing to love him off of this whole 16-minute story. It's so good.
As As a kid, I didn't know it was weird to be a ventriloquist, but I got picked on for it. The good part was the bullies didn't know who to stuff in the gym locker first, me or the freaking doll. As for my parents, they were supportive of my hobby, but when I was a kid, if I said something stupid, my father would go, "Stop talking out of your butt." Ironically, that could be a whole new bit in my show. Little muffled voice, "Let me out."
Ew.
I'm working on it.
Don't.
By the time junior high rolled around, to make matters worse, not only was I a ventriloquist, but I also chose to play the trombone.
Oh, stop. I love him now like he's my own father. Are you serious? I play the trombone. I told this story many times in my reaction videos. In the 6th grade, I don't remember if I waited too long to join the band or I don't know if I was dragging my feet or if I don't know what happened. Somehow I was like, I want to play the flute or the clarinet. Those are the two options for me. I was like, I want a cute little dainty. Girl, there were no more left. In this middle school, they you had to rent the instruments, and I got there too late, and the only thing that was left was the trombone and the daggone tuba, honey. And I wasn't playing the tuba because the tuba was bigger than me in middle school. Look, I'm stick thin now. Imagine what I looked like in the 6th grade. So I was stuck with the trombone, and I hated every living, breathing second of it. I was so embarrassed. I was humiliated because we had to take them home, the cases home on the bus, and it was so big. Again, if I stood it up next to me, it was wider than me. Jeff, we are kindred spirits. We're tethered souls. We're kinfolk of the trombone. It's an elite club, I tell you.
Was I a ventriloquist, but I also chose to play the trombone. Yeah, the babes were lined up for that. So in school, I had braces, I played the trombone, and I carried around a dummy. Even the nerds were like, "Dude, you can't sit with us." I'm not kidding. The short school bus started picking me up simply because the driver figured he was supposed to. After I graduated from college, I moved out to Los Angeles, got married, had 3 girls. And because it was part of our everyday lives, I guess my girls thought that what I did for a living was not unusual. One day when my youngest daughter was playing at a friend's house, she turned to the other kid and goes, "Where are your daddy's dolls?" True story. But my daughters are now young women. I'm remarried. I'm the luckiest guy on the planet to have my wife, Audrey. When we got married, I knew I came with a lot of baggage. There's an ex-wife, 3 daughters, 6 talking dummies.
I was about to say, a suitcase full of dummies.
Try putting that on your Match.com profile. But we're here tonight because my act has taken me places I'd never thought possible. We've done shows in South Africa, Abu Dhabi, Israel, Malaysia, and places where they can barely speak English, like France and Southern California.
What did Southern California do to deserve that? What did they do to deserve that? I'm sorry to all you Southern Californians. I love you guys. I think you speak quite well. He's in Hollywood.
They even want me in China. Heck yeah, I'll go to China. And then I can see the factory where small children make my Jeff Dunham merchandise. Oh, like Santa Claus is any freaking different. But I'm kidding. All of my merchandise is made right here in the good old US of A. Including the little stickers on the back that say made in China. But, well, I know some of you know what's going on this evening. I have little people in boxes, and I gotta tell you, the way security is at the airports nowadays.
It's so true. The way you phrase something can really go from oh to oh. It really is all in the way you phrase it and you say it. Anything. The way he just said that was criminally suspect.
Little people in boxes, and I gotta tell you, the way security is at the airports nowadays, when you try and check in with a small person in your luggage.
Yeah, what's that like?
Stop ya.
What's that like?
Most
Scanning it?
Nowadays have these sophisticated equipment for checking your luggage. They're like big MRIs. They can check the contents, the materials. But some of the smaller airports don't. We all know Burbank Airport, just north of here a few miles, don't have all the sophisticated stuff. They still have to hand check a lot of luggage.
2006 or 5, I can't tell.
I was in line about 3.5 weeks ago, early one morning, very crowded. And most people, when you get your luggage hand checked, it's no big deal. They might pull out your underwear ooh. But for me, they're pulling out dolls.
I told him not to do that joke.
And I figured out the way
Who's
they decide
he?
whose luggage they're going to hand check is to
I know that wasn't her voice.
Told him not to do that joke.
And I figured out the way they decide whose
Was
luggage
it?
they're going to hand check is a complete judgment call on these guys' parts. They look at you and they decide, and apparently I looked like a terrorist with a trunk. Because they said, sir, we got to look in that trunk. I'm like, oh, crap, here we go. So he takes the big trunk and he puts it on top of the silver table. He opens it up, and the first thing he pulls out is one of my little guys, Peanut. You'll see him in a little while. You might know
The purple
Peanut.
one, right? Peanut's the purple one?
But he pulls Peanut out, and he's like, hey. People in line are like, hey. And I'm like, oh. Now, they have these swabs, and they swab whatever it is they're looking at. They then take the piece of material, they put it in the analyzer. It then checks to see if your stuff has come into contact with anything dangerous, chemicals, whatever. So the guy has Peanut in one hand, swab in the other. This is all true. It's too stupid to make up. He could have swabbed Peanut on the head, on the foot. No.
Where did he swab Peanut, y'all? Am I ready for this? Where did he swab? Did he swab his mouth? Where would Peanut have come? I don't know.
He could have swabbed Peanut on the head, on the foot. No. In front of God and everybody, swabs his butt. Just like that. I know
No,
it's only a
why?
puppet, but I work with the guy. There's a relationship here. And I'm sitting there watching this, and the first thing I find myself thinking is, you sick bastard. What the hell? Why are you wiping my friend's butt? He then takes the swab, puts it in the machine, shuts the door. I think we're finished. We start to put things away. Suddenly, the little machine goes,
No.
3 more guys come out. They have me up against the wall. They're checking my ID. They're doing a background check on the internet.
Off his
They're going
butt?
through all my stuff. Takes 15 minutes. Now we're finished. Everything is fine. Then we start to put things back. And then I start to think, what the hell was on Peanut's
His
butt?
butt. No, I want to know what was on his butt that caused the machines to put him through 15 minutes of misery. Peanut,
That labeled me
explain
the potential
yourself.
terrorist. And this is all true. And I asked the guy, and he goes, well, it's all in code on the computer. Let's see. And he goes, that would be military-grade plastic explosives. And I go, what? And he goes, well, sometimes the machine confuses lotion for that. And I went, no, there's no lotion on the puppet's ass.
Oh my gosh. Peanut, you freak. You're a freaky deaky puppet.
You caught me, Skippy. Thanks for straightening me out. I don't ever want to go through the Burbank airport again. There's only a small number of these guys that do all the checking. I know next time I go through, they'll all be standing in a group, and one of them will point and go, there he is. There's the gay puppet bomber. There's lotion on his puppet's ass.
Could you imagine? That's hilarious. Yeah, I love, like, he kind of really, I feel like I understand him more. The puppet, I get it. Like, all of it's funny. Shout out to his parents for just being unwaveringly supportive. Dink. All right. That was a great story time, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you have the day you deserve. Bye.